You're on Property Source Radio. I'm Brenna Hartman. Good morning.
Good morning. I have a question for Jim. I currently burn a wood stove. I've got access to unlimited firewood on my property and that. And I heard you talking earlier about, heating certain areas of the home. And where the wood stove is located, there's vaulted ceilings, and boy, that room is nice. I usually fall asleep in there after it gets cooking pretty good. But when I get up to go to bed in the back bedroom, it's somewhat cold. And I see that they have some of the items, whether it's those fans that you install in the corner of, doorway entries. I see they have that little metal fan that you can stick up on top of the wood stove to help move some of that heat around. Are any of those viable options, or is it just, something extra that I probably don't need to install and just, put a few extra pajamas on before I go to bed, I guess?
That's a good question.
Very good question. And the answer is a lot of these devices are good. What you're really trying to do to even the heat out is to stir the air up. And certainly if you have vaulted ceilings, a ceiling fan is very important. I always say any heat over your head is wasted because you can't feel it. So bring it back down, circulate it. They do have these little, like a muffin fan that you can put up in the corner of a doorway.
Exactly.
They call them room-to-room temperature balancing fans. They do help.
Are these, can I interrupt, are they specifically for fireplace application?
Well, they're for helping to, they call them room-to-room temperature balancing fans. And, I mean, I've had people using that type of thing where, even at a gas furnace where the heat run in this one area wasn't producing.
Okay.
So the whole thing is stirring that air up. There's also, and depending on the layout of your home, there's a device that's a fan, and it's like a through-the-wall register where you can take the heat out of one room and cool that room down and move it into the room adjoining it, where it might not go down the hallway and around the corner very easily.
Well, I have a situation where a guest bedroom is the wall that's right behind the wood stove. So I often thought about, could you actually cut, a hole, if you will, in that wall in between the back bedroom and the fireplace and insert a fan in there to move, some of that heat into that back bedroom as well.
Absolutely. It's done all the time. It works good also for multi-levels between floors. Heat rises, so, it can rise right up through a floor. The only thing you have to be careful about is you're playing with air. It's kind of like playing with the TV reception. You're playing with something you can't see, so you have to experiment with it a little bit. And I always tell people when they buy a stove, don't go home and just start cutting holes. See how the air is going to flow, see where the cold areas are and the hot areas, and try to move that heat from the hot area into the colder areas. And there's several devices on the market for that actually work quite well. But remember, I've had customers take a 20-inch breeze box and turn it on high, and they're trying to put it inside the stove. All you're doing then is cooling the stove down, and it's actually way less efficient than a small fan on low.
Perfect.
You want to move it, and you aren't going to feel it instantly. But what you're going to do is balance it over a period of time.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much.
Thanks
for calling in.
Yeah, have a good day now.
Great day.
You too.
I have a question. Yeah. Is that something that you would come out and look at for a customer?
I mean, it could, but most of that can be really done better right in our showroom because we can show you the product. And what a lot of people do nowadays, thank goodness for digital cameras. People will take a picture of their fireplace, of their stove, or their existing situation and bring us in a picture, or they email it to us, or whatever. And it's just like me being there now. It's fantastic.
So
we're doing it even with our service people. We had an issue a couple of days ago, and my serviceman had a question. And he took a picture of the stove situation, and sent it to my phone. I looked at it, called him back, and told him, what I thought he should do. And it's so neat because it used to mean like an extra trip. Or, you didn't look as good. I just had my TV service recently, and they did the same thing. They had questions, pull out the old cell phone, talk to a technician that happens to have more information on a laptop or something and can diagnose it. And technology's really helped fixing and servicing products dramatically now.
That's good.
Yeah.
Good to know. Really good to know.
I like it.
I was wondering too, real quick, because we just have a little bit left of our show this morning, but I did want to ask, because I've been wondering, for Pat's specific situation, he talked about having the the fireplace
Fireplace. With a gas.
freestanding fireplace inside a masonry
Fireplace.
Right,
you got
I'm
it.
trying to figure it out what the correct terminology. What would you recommend if you went out? I mean, he's not going to use this thing, obviously.
I would recommend taking it all out and upgrading and putting in a gas insert into there that will trim out, make it look better, number one, but we can insulate in there and everything and stop that cold air from coming out and just get some heat coming out instead of cold air.
Okay, and still keep it pretty.
We can make it even more beautiful.
I like that.
Yeah.
Perfect.
That's what we were talking about, heating and decorating with stoves and fireplaces from Williamson Hardware. It's been a great time having you on the show today. We want to thank you so much. WilliamsonAce.com is your website, Jim?
That's right.